So this is what the main groove sounds like. So that's the main groove. So what we do is, I guess, before we program our own drums, we'll start with like pre-made loops, I guess we could say.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes
a lot of our work is done before we even start any songs or any ideas. We put together, you know, samples, loops. We listen to old records, find drum breaks,
chop up drums.
We can make a skeleton of the song, and then we later replace the drums.
So we have what we call writing loops, and you'll see it right. There's one right here. And so we just stack these two loops. May I?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, sort of a basic funk thing. So when you have the artist in the studio with you, you want to be able to kind of work fast, work on the fly, and then dress it up more later.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to go into fine details of production right away. You want to get the song written first. So this is a really quick way to get going in 5 minutes.
So we had two loops, but we don't like using loops on the final product. I think we should show everyone how we go from drum loop to actual drum programming. Okay, so first of all, everybody out there that makes production, that makes beats or whatever, if you want to use drum loops, be my guest. It's all good. They sound great. We're like old school hip hop purists. This is like something we've always had. We always felt it was kind of cheating to use pre-made drum loops, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why we're like this, P. We just are. We always thought it was a little corny to just have a pre-made drum loop. Now, if you make house music, if you're like A-Track and Armand Van Helden, you're doing loops all day. But for us, we always wanted the satisfaction of knowing we programmed the drums ourselves.
Yeah, and having, you know, a special sort of, you know, a special sequence that nobody's thought of before.
A pattern, you mean?
A pattern, yeah.
Yeah, because also, by the way, if we were to put out a song with a certain drum loop, and you guys could find it on Splice or whatever, it means, like, you know,
our job is not done.
Yeah, our job isn't done. We're here to kind of provide people with sounds, not use stuff that's out there already. All right. So point being, we had these two loops, and, you know, obviously the groove on these two drum loops is pretty good. Like, it's infectious, you know? How are you gonna top that? Like, this is hot.
This, by the way, is a loop from a disco record.
It's two loops, right?
Yeah.
Actually, we have this one here.
That's the main.
Yeah.
That's a disco record.
And then we got this one here.
That's a splicey sort of thing.
Yeah. We're gonna get rid of all that. And this is where the hard work begins. Because we gotta have something that's as groovy as this, but that we make ourselves.
Also, better quality.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a lot of loops are a bit dirty, and they don't quite do the pattern you want them to do.
And they're not gonna thump the right way, I find.
And even if you switch the sounds around and chop them up, the flow is never that good. The dynamics never work out well.
Yeah.
So you start from scratch.
So what we ended up doing is we ended up combining live drums and drum samples that we programmed and stacked and layered up until everything sounded hot. First of all, we basically found another kick that had a lot more low end. You guys can't hear it up there, but this has got low end for days. We boosted a little bit low end.
You can actually see it.
Yeah.
You can actually see the low end of here. It's really going hard on the
50K?
Yeah, no, on 82K.
82K, excuse me. Then we added a live kick that we recorded in the other room, in the live room, nothing on it, and it sounds kind of cheap on its own. It sounds terrible, but it adds a little bit of air when you stack it onto, look. It just adds a little bit of natural feeling, right? So now you've got your kick. It should all, and then we had a snare. Compression, verb, a little bit of low end. That's it. Obviously, it's not enough, so we added a live snare, which also by itself sounds terrible. Cheapo.
Just for texture.
But again, the two together just adds a little bit of, you know. So now we've got this. Then I was like, you know what, P? Would it be cheating if we took the snares and the claps from the original loops, not the whole pattern, just let me have a little something from the original? P was like, okay, we can do it. So here we isolated the snare from the OG loop. That's why we called it Snare Layer OG loop. And we called it clap from OG loop. And you can see them right here, right? So those are the original. So we added those on top. There we go. Look at this thing. All right. Cool.
Yeah. And by the way, using one of the snares from the original loop is not unlike the way we got this kick.
Right, because we chopped it from a record.
Because a lot of stuff are also chopped from records. It's just you choose a record that sounds the best and the fullest.
Yeah. So we're basically, we're editing. We're taking what we like the best. Alrighty.
It's a treasure hunt to find good single sounds.
And I was even like, I remember I was like, you know what? Let's just take a little bit of the hi-hat from the original loop, or from one of them, and see how that sounds. So you barely hear it, but it's in there. It's already pretty groovy, and it's a lot meatier than what we had before.
Yeah.
But we were missing something. We were listening to our Gap Band reference, and in the Gap Band reference, which was kind of like the song that was inspiring us on this one, there's a live, the drums are live, and there's a real bright, noisy hi-hat on top.
On top of everything.
So we went to the other room, and we basically tracked me, who playing, you know, fairly clumsily, a live hi-hat on top of everything. And basically, we just recorded this.
Again, just texture.
We did sort of basic EQ on it because it was kind of dirty. And when we put that in there, I feel like that really sealed the deal, because we got something thumpier, brighter.
Let's play the loop.
Groovier. You want to play the new pattern?
Let's do complete pattern.
All right, cool. So let's play.
We can do it before and after.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's our hi-hats. Let's get all our snares in there. Snares. And then there are kicks in there. Alright, tell me which one grooves the most. This is the new drums. I'll put the bass in. Compared to the old drums, to me that's clunky. Alright, so that's how we got rid of the old stuff.